Kathy's place. Crafts and diamonds with a smiling face. From New York roots to Texas skies, she's got her kitties and crafts that shine. Halls and delights, reviews so true. She's sharing her world with you. Kathy's diamonds, delights and homes, family crafts, she's got it all. Click that bell, come join the fun. Kathy's channel has just begun.
Hello my friends, and welcome back to Cathy's Diamonds, Delights, and Hauls. If you're new here, I want to welcome you. And if you're a returning subscriber, I want to thank you. I hope everyone's having a good start to their week. Today we're going to do a WIP and chat. I'm working on the Michaels Snowman Family from Michaels Make Market. I'm on the last little square on the very top. So how was everybody's weekend? Anybody do anything fun or exciting? Me and my husband, all we did was go grocery shopping, and then he took me out to eat. Nothing exciting. Spent way too much money at the grocery store. I don't know, they say prices are going down, but I don't see it. I don't see where, because we spent like, for 2 weeks of groceries, we spent almost $400 yesterday in groceries, and that's ridiculous. There's no sense in that, and it's only going to last us 2 weeks. Because, you know, we have my son at home, and he eats us out of house and home. But, and we hardly got anything, too, for that much money. That's a lot of groceries. A lot of money for just a little bit of groceries. The only other thing that's been going on is that my dad from New York called me. He called me up last week, told me that he wants to come down and see me in April. And, you know, I haven't seen my dad in a very long time because it takes, you know, it costs money to go to New York to fly all the time. And so I don't go there very often. But I really don't think he should come down here because my dad just had hip surgery. And he really, from what my stepmother says, he cannot walk very well. He has problems walking. And that's all I need is for him to fall. Because if he falls, I won't be able to pick him up. And an ambulance, because we live out in the country, would take a while to get out here. And then he'd be sitting on the floor, and you know, and I can't help him. So him coming out here, I think, is a no-no. As much as I want to see him, I don't think he should come out here. I don't think it's a good idea for him to come out here because I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself. So he called me back a week later and says to me, this was about 2 nights ago, and says to me, in February, because he's going to turn 80 years old in February the 13th, they're giving him a surprise, well, it's supposed to be a surprise 80th birthday party, but yet he knows about it. And he wants us to come down, me and my husband, and if my 2 sons can come, he wants them to come too. Because my oldest son, he ain't speaking to me, so he wouldn't come even if he was speaking to me. But so my twin boys, he wants my twins to come. I said, Dad, I don't know if they can come because, you know, they're all working now. You know, it depends on if they can get the time off, because, you know, they have to have so many days accumulated before they can take off, you know, so many personal time off, PTO days. I said, and in January it starts all over again, so their PTO don't carry over, so they're gonna have to have so many days to accumulate it, so they may not be able to come. He says, well, then you and your husband come. I said, okay, but my husband don't want to come. So my husband don't want to go because he don't like New York. It's not that he don't want to see my family. At least this is what he tells me. That it has nothing to do with your family. I just don't like going to New York. I was like, well, Scott, you know something? I do stuff with your family all the time that I don't like. And I still do it. And I don't complain. I said, and I don't see why you can't come with me for 3 days. That's all it's good. We're only going down there for 4 days. 4 days because we can't afford it any more than that. I said, you can suck it up for 4 days and spend some time with my family. I mean, because it's not right that I go down there by myself, because this ain't the first time that he's pulled this where he don't want to go with me. The last time when I went to New York, he didn't want to go with me. He didn't go with me. He decided to go camping with his family and didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to come with me to New York. So, I think it's only fair that he comes with me to New York, because I don't really want to travel by myself, especially nowadays, the way the world is right now, with things happening every day. These mass shootings and all this, this craziness that's going on in this world. You don't know if something's going to happen. I don't want to really travel by myself. I'd rather have, him there. So, and he's insisting he don't want to go. He's like, you can go by yourself. And so I don't know what's going to happen. I really want to see my dad, because, it's his 80th birthday. What if this is my dad's last birthday that he ever has? And plus, I haven't spent a birthday with my dad in about 15 years, so I think I'm due time to spend some time with my dad. I need to spend at least a birthday with him again before he, if he, because one day he may pass away. I don't know when God will call him home, and I think it's time that I spend a little time with him. So I don't know what's going to happen, because now he's not even bringing up the subject anymore. He don't even want to talk about it. So it may end up I might have to suck it up and go by myself anyway, even though I'm scared to fly by myself. I may have to, just so I can see my dad. But I told my friend that if he don't go with me on this vacation, then I will never go on another vacation with his family ever again, because I don't think it's right. It's not fair that I do stuff with his family all the time, even when I don't want to. I still go because, that's my husband's family. I go basically for him. You can do it for me too. It's not right. So we'll see how that turns out. I still don't know if we're going to go, what's going to happen with that. I do know next month he's going on a camping trip with his family. I'm not going because with my back problems that I have, I can't handle the cold weather. And they're going to be doing tent camping, which I'm not able to do, because I've tried sleeping on an air mattress, and I've tried sleeping on a cot, and with the scoliosis that I have and the back problems that I have, I cannot do it. And they will not sleep in a hotel, so I told them, well, then I can't go, because I'm not going to sit there and be miserable, because that's exactly what will happen. I'll be miserable, and who wants to be miserable on vacation? So I told him that I'm not going to go this time, because the last time I went, I did not have a good time, because I was in so much pain, because I had to sleep on a air mattress and a cot, and that I couldn't enjoy myself because I was hurting too bad. So I'm staying home this time, and this is the only time that I've not done something with his family, because any other time I have done things with his family. So anyway, he's going away in October for I think 4 or 5 days, and I'll be here with my son that lives with us still, my son Nicholas, who's 21, and then he's one of my twins. I have twin boys that are 21 years old, and I got a son, Kevin, who's married, that is 30 years old, but he's not speaking to me. He hasn't spoke to me since February, all because of who I voted for. Yeah, he's not speaking to me. We're not, which is just, well, actually, I really don't know why he's not speaking to me, because he actually never fully told me why he's not speaking to me. He just one day, out of the blue, stopped talking to me and will not, and refuses to speak to me. My son, he talks to my son, his younger brother, and told his younger brother it's because of who I voted for, which I think is so stupid. I mean, we should be able to vote for whoever we want, and that shouldn't matter. That shouldn't come between family. But whatever. Hopefully one day maybe he'll wake up and see that, hey, you need to talk to your mama, because mama's not going to be around forever. So I mean, I leave him messages all the time, and he reads my messages, but he refuses to respond back. I asked him what I've done wrong, why he won't speak to me, and he won't tell me. I know I do know the reason because of what he said to my son in a text message, and it's because of who I voted for. And that should not make a difference. I mean, we should be able to vote for whoever we want and still be able to function with other people. And that should never come between, your relationship with your family or anything. But I guess it does. So that's that. Now on to the other news that's happened this week. You know how I told you about the kittens that we've been raising? We got the mama cat that I call the ho-ho mama. She's on her, my mother-in-law has her second litter of kittens, and I have her third litter of kittens, because this cat has had 3 litters of kittens now. And my mother-in-law got her second litter of kittens fixed and spayed and neutered, and they went ahead and captured the mama cat yesterday, and they hauled her off. I don't know where. They won't tell me where they hauled her off at. I don't know if they took her to the animal shelter or if they just dropped her somewhere. But they hauled the mama cat off, and now they captured the 3 kittens, and they put the 3 kittens in cages, which I am against this totally. But anyway, they put the kittens in cages. They're all in a separate cage with water, food, a litter box, and a blanket. And they're going to keep the kittens in these cages until they calm down and are tame. I guess tame enough to where they can go ahead and take them to get neutered and spayed. And then they'll bring them back home after they get neutered and spayed. And then they will eventually bring them back to my porch. Well, I know this needs to be done, and I'm not against the fact that they need to be spayed or anything. I'm just against the fact that I don't think an animal should be caged up. That is bothering me so much that they're caging up these kittens. I mean, what if these kittens don't get tamed for like months? You're going to keep them in a cage for months? I mean, I think that's silly. I don't understand that, why they have to cage these animals. And I said to them, well, why didn't you cage, you cage these animals, well, why didn't you cage the mama cat? Why did you take her off somewhere? And I really think they hauled her off and just dropped her somewhere in a neighborhood somewhere. That's what I think. But they won't tell me. My husband, my mother-in-law, and my father-in-law all came up with this plan, kept me out of the loop. I didn't know nothing about this until after they already did all this. I came home to find this out, and it was already done. The cat was already taken off, and the kittens were already boarded up, you could say, in cages. So I was mad, very upset. Still upset about it, because the mama cat, she's blind in one eye, and if they did haul her off to a neighborhood somewhere, that means you're putting an animal that is blind in one eye in a territory that they do not know. And who knows if it's being fed or not now, when it was getting fed every single day here. I mean, I think that's mean. I think they should have grabbed the cat and go take it to get spayed, like I thought they were going to do. My husband said, well, that cat's too wild. You can't just spay that. You can't take that cat to the vet because it's too wild. I said, what? I said, I'm pretty sure a vet can handle a wild animal. Vets go out on... They go out to, animals that are wild all the time. What are you talking about? I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have been able to sedate that cat enough to where they could perform a surgery on it. Don't tell me that a vet can't take care of a wild animal or work on a wild animal. That's baloney. He says, well, she was too wild anyway. I said, whatever. I was so mad. I'm still very upset with my mother, my father-in-law, and my husband by what they're doing. Because I think it's cruel. I have too much of a heart to see an animal caged up. I don't even like seeing a dog on a leash. When people have a dog on a leash on a tree, I think that's mean. I don't think an animal should be caged up. That's just me. Maybe I'm crazy, but I do understand that these cats need to be spayed, because we can't keep having kittens and kittens and kittens, and taking care of, feeding all these kittens. But I still think they went about it the wrong way. That's just my opinion, especially what they're doing with this mama cat. Because if they won't tell me the truth, and I really do think that they hauled her off somewhere in the neighborhood, and let somebody else have that problem. And if I find out they did that, I'm really, really going to be upset. But I really think they did, because every time I bring it up, they change the subject real fast. And the other cat I still can't find, which is the mother's first litter. The cat from her first litter, which was a black and white cat that used to come on our porch all the time, and now all of a sudden I don't see it here lately. And I've done asked my husband, did they carry that cat off too? And he keeps telling me, oh no, but I think they did, because he's not being honest with me, and I'm getting really upset about it. But so that's what I've been dealing with the last week, worrying about these cats, and it's really hurting me. My husband said, well, you can go visit the cats. It's over there right by Mama's. But what they don't understand is I don't want to see an animal in a cage, and that would break my heart to see the animals in a cage. So I'm staying away from there, only because I won't be able to handle it. There's no way I can handle seeing an animal in the cage. But I'll be glad when they are back on my porch again, to where I can take care of them again, because I do miss them. I miss seeing them playing and everything. I'm hoping this ain't gonna take long for them to, cause see, when they had the second litter of kittens, the ones that they have over there on their porch, they did the same thing with those cats. They put them in a cage for I don't know how many weeks, and those cats ended up getting very tame, to where now, when my mother-in-law's out there on the porch, they'll come up to her and let her pet them and all that kind of stuff. So they're hoping that will happen with these kittens if they keep them in a cage for so long and let them get tame. So this way, then they can take them to get spayed and neutered. But I don't know. I don't know. I just have bad feeling about this. I don't like seeing an animal caged up. So that's what I'm kind of dealing with right now. I've been kind of upset and crying over this, because it's really, really upset me. I'm really worried about the mama cat. I'm wondering if she's okay, because I just can't believe that they would just dump her off somewhere. They say, like I said, I don't know if this is what they really done, but I feel like they did. I really feel like they did dump her off somewhere. And that's wrong. That's sorry if they did that. That's cruel and that's mean. Let me know your thoughts about this. How would you feel about this if if you had this situation at your house? I would like to know what your thoughts are on all this. Am I crazy for feeling this way or not? Because it's really upsetting me. Okay, I'm going to do some viewer questions that I said I was going to do the next time I did a WIP and chat. So the ones I'm going to be doing is from Denise Hudson. She asked me, where are you from? Well, I'm originally from Queens, New York. I grew up there all my life. All my family still lives in Queens, New York. My mother passed away when I was 25 years old, but my dad and my stepmother and my 3 half-sisters all live in New York with all my cousins. And I lived in New York up until I was, I'm trying to think, when my dad, I think I was like 13 years old. 15 years old. About 15 years old when we moved out of New York. We moved from New York to, I'm trying to think, to Pennsville, New Jersey, because my mother got married to this man named Randy, and he was in the military, and he was stationed in New Jersey. So we moved from New York to Pennsville, New Jersey, then Pennsville, New Jersey to Indian Orchard, Massachusetts, then Indian Orchard, Massachusetts to Jackson, Mississippi, and then Jackson, Mississippi to Texas, and that's where I've been ever since. I've been in Hallsville, Texas ever since. It's kind of close to Longview, Texas. It's East Texas. And I won't be honest with you. I love living in the South. I'll only go back to New York to visit my family, but then I'm ready to come back to Texas. I don't like New York. It's hard that I can't believe that I lived there I lived there most of my life, but I don't like it. The people are so rude there, and I'm not used to the traffic anymore. But I do miss the food. The food is, I miss my Italian bakeries and my Italian food, because they just don't make good Italian food out here in Texas. I can promise you that. And I don't even see any Italian bakeries here. Okay, she asked me, are you married and how long? Yes, I'm married. I'm on my second marriage. My first husband, we were only married for about a year, and I had my oldest son, Kevin, with him. And my second marriage, we got divorced, and then my second marriage, I've been married to my husband, Scott, for 20 years now. We've been married 22 years. Sorry. We've been married 22 years, and we have two twin boys that are Nicholas and Joshua. They're 21 years old. And my husband has a stepdaughter. My husband has a daughter from his previous marriage, and a son from his previous marriage, and I have a son from my previous marriage. Do you have any pets? Yes, we have 3 cats. They're Missy and Sally. Missy is the oldest. Sally and Callie are sisters. If I can get a picture of all 3 of them, I'll try to include it in the video. I can't promise though, but I'll try to get a picture of all 3 of them and add it into the video. Do I work? No, I do not work. I stay at home because I have a lot of back problems. So it's better for me not to work. My husband, he works. He works about 2 hours away from here. He works as a civilian on an army base, because he was in the military. My husband's been in the military for 27 years, and he's retired. And now he works on a military base as a civilian. What's my favorite color? Any shade of blue. I love the color blue. I don't care what shade of blue it is. I just love the color blue, and I love the color purple. She asked me, what's your favorite holiday? My favorite holiday, of course, is Christmas. I love Christmas. I love getting together with family and just watching everybody open gifts and just getting together and enjoying the holiday season. Only thing out here, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, they don't celebrate Christmas on Christmas. We're going to do our family Christmas on December the 13th this year. She never wants to do it on Christmas, because she says everybody's got their own families to spend it with their own families. So she does her Christmas like a week or 2 before Christmas. And this year, I'm not used to this. I'm used to, in my family, we're Italian. I come from an Italian family, and we have the traditional, for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, we have the traditional either ham or turkey, and then of course we have our lasagna at night, because that's kind of what Italians always got to have their pasta. Well, out here, my mother-in-law, she never does a traditional Christmas or traditional Thanksgiving. Last year for Thanksgiving we had tacos. This year for Christmas she wants to do hamburgers, and I'm thinking, hamburgers for Christmas dinner? That's kind of weird. One year we had what was it? Hot dogs. She does some weird things for Christmas. I know she don't want to do a whole big cooking, but that seems awful weird. You only Christmas and Thanksgiving only comes once a year. You can't do a traditional turkey. What do y'all do? Do y'all have what's your traditional meal for Thanksgiving and Christmas? Do y'all do turkey or ham or something else? Let me all know. I'd like to know what y'all do. What's my favorite thing to paint? It would be, I like landscapes, and I like to do, especially lighthouses. I love lighthouses and churches, and I like to do, of course, my kitty cats. I like to diamond paint cats a lot. she asked me, how many days do you diamond paint? Whenever I feel like it, usually. Sometimes I try to do it every day if I can, if I'm up to it. Sometimes here lately with my shoulder hurting, it's kind of, I've been slacking a little bit with the diamond painting. I haven't done it as much. But I have to say, ever since I've been taking that collagen for my shoulder, I haven't had much problem with my shoulder here lately. The last week, I haven't complained at all about my shoulder hurting. So I think that collagen may be helping. They say it helps your joints. And I don't know, I've been taking it every day. And so far, I'm seeing a little bit of a difference. I'm not, complaining as much about my shoulder hurting. And I'm able to do diamond paints a little bit longer than I was. So maybe, I'm hoping that means it's helping. And then she asks, okay. She says, did I always live in the same state? No, I have not. Like I said, I grew up in New York. I traveled to New York to New Jersey, then to Indian Orchard, Massachusetts. Then I lived in Jackson, Mississippi, and then I came to Texas. Those are the only states that I've traveled to. Those are the only states that I've ever lived in. Now I've been to like Arkansas and Branson, Missouri. Those are the only other states that I've ever actually traveled to. And I went to Memphis, Tennessee when I went to see Graceland that time. But that's the only places I've ever been. Tori Lovely, she asked me what my favorite food is. And I would say Mexican food. I love Mexican food. Ever since I moved to Texas, that's all I could eat Mexican food 7 days a week. I love it. But other than that, if Italian food, I like to have chicken parmesan. That's my favorite when it comes to Italian food. She asked me if I saved my drills. Well, I was saving some of them. And I do try to save as many as I can. I just don't have a whole lot of space to save them. So I've been saving what I can. And it said, do you keep track of all your diamond paintings finishes and your stash? Yes, I keep it on that app. I think it's called GemFlow. I think that's what it's called. And I record all my finishes and my stash on there. Do I enjoy setting up and down? I really don't like the setting up part of it with the diamonds, but I do like to take them apart and put them up. And you want to know how long I've been diamond painting? I guess I've been diamond painting for about a year now. Not too long. And then Denise, this is the last question. Denise Meyer, she asked me, how many times do I post videos? Well, I'm trying to post videos at least two or three times a week if I can. It all depends on what's going on that week. And I would like to do a live, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, because I don't have a double screen to where you can look at. The only thing I have is a tablet and my cell phone, and I don't know if that'll work. I have to find out if I can do that like that. And I don't really even know how to do a live because I've never done one before. But if I could do one, I will try my best to do one. But the only thing is, if I do a live, it will have to be in the daytime before my son and husband get home, because once they get home, it's very noisy in this house. Because, see, we live in a mobile home, and my craft room is right beside my son's room. And then if you go in the tiny little hallway, the living room is like right on the other side of the wall. So you can hear the TV from the living room when my husband has it so loud. Then you can hear my son with his video games so loud. And I don't have a door to my craft room, because my craft room used to be my boys' room when they were little, and somehow they messed up the door to their bedroom, which is my craft room, and we tried to get a new door for it, and we can never find one. So my craft room don't have a door on it. because of them messing it up when they were little. I don't even know how they did it, but they messed up the door, and we were never able to find a replacement door. So I can't even shut out the noise even if I wanted to. So if I do a live, it's going to have to be around anywhere from 11 in the morning to 1 p.m. my time, which is Central Time. I'm in the Central Time zone. So, let me know if y'all would want me to do a live, and if that's okay with you. So I would like to try and do some more WIPs each week, but the only thing is, I'm afraid I ain't going to have a whole lot to talk about since I don't go out much. And I feel like y'all will be bored if I really don't have a whole lot to say. Let me know if you want me to do some more WIPs. I will if you do. I just don't know what I'm going to talk about, though. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Because I don't go out much. I stay home 90% of the time. Because my husband, with him working 2 hours away, he uses the car. And we only have one vehicle, so I'm stuck at the house most of the time, unless my neighbor takes me out, which here lately she hasn't even been going out much. When y'all do your diamond paintings, like a big one like this one is, this is a 40 by 50, but do y'all section it off like this with the release papers, or do you leave the plastic that's on? I just started using these release papers on when I do these big projects like this. I think it's a lot easier because you can do one square at a time. So I've been liking that, where you can just do one square at a time. Because I used to go through the whole thing to find the color, and that used to take forever. So do you do release papers too? Let me know in the comments. If y'all have any questions that you might want to ask me, feel free to leave them in the comments or on a post or on a community post, and I will answer any questions you have in my next whipping chat. I think that's all I'm going to do for today. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. If you like what you see here, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much.